Happy New Year! Thank God we are no longer in 2020, and here's to 2022. Wow.
2021.
2022. I cannot talk. 2022. I lisped that. Oh my word.
Made a new accent.
22. I'm Tweety Bud. Ooh, I taught 22. All right. Here we go. Try that again.
He's looking at you, kid. You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
I'll have what she's having.
Boss will be with you, always.
I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of Gone with the Wind. I bet you all now are incredibly excited to get rid of that year that was 2020. Welcome to 2021. And yes, we should be talking about, possible Golden Globe nominations and all that, but we're not. Instead, it's going to be a chill day. So, cue the music. Hey everybody, welcome to Gone with the Wind, the show about award shows where we talk about, you guessed it, award shows. I'm your host, Manning Franks, here the host of Gone with the Wind, and I have you know what? Today is not my day. I'm not even going to cut this part out here. I'm going to cut everything else I had before this, but this is not the first time I tried this intro. In fact, I have failed many times because today is not my day. This is my year, though, and this is our year, and I want to welcome you to the first podcast of 2021, and I have a esteemed panel here today. We have regular panelists. We have Malcolm.
Hello.
We have Abe.
What up?
He's called the Destroyer right now. I don't know. Why are you called the Destroyer, Abe?
You know what? I'm sorry. I had that thing last week. Last time we did a show, I had that, and nobody noticed until today. So I'm the Destroyer. I don't know.
How is no one? Okay, so basically, for those who can't see, because this is an audio-only podcast, Abe has a title called The Destroyer in his StreamYard name right now. Why? Why, actually?
I don't know. I don't like my name.
I think he's trying to get back to the trivia, maybe.
Your name is amazing, Abe. We love your name, Abraham. Abraham, however, we love your name. And we have a special guest today, too. He was basically we'll call him our AFI correspondent when he came and talked to us, because virtual cinema is currently this year alive and well. We have Dan.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me back, Manning. I'm glad to be here to talk all these different movie topics and movies and so forth. And guess what? I got invited to Sundance Virtual Film Festival.
Ooh. I must say, you got invited to there, so you're officially a screening critic that you will be going there, correct?
Well, they're coming to me. I'm not going to Utah.
Oh, I know, but I mean, like, you will be virtually because I've been looking into that a little behind the scenes. I've been looking into, and I'm probably gonna, I may not get the entire, it's a hefty $350 package for those who want to get a nice virtual everything. I'm probably gonna be dropping some cash on there so I can actually myself watch some of these movies for the first time for Sundance, and I'm excited about that. Taking off, having a 3-day, won't see everything, but I'm trying to go and take a 3-day extended weekend to watch as many as I can. So that will be hopefully my January 29th, or 28th, 29th, and 30th that I'll be spending. And Dan, I'm guessing you'll be doing that as well.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm guessing, are you the entire extended weekend, I guess?
Yeah, I'm going to do the entire weekend, but
nice.
I'm going to do like one day, maybe two one day, one another day. I'm not going to do every movie. I'm picking and choosing what I want to see. And I got Land is like number one on my list, and Jockey is number one.
Okay, one that I'm really interested in. Okay, we'll make this really brief because I know we'll talk about Sundance, not this podcast, but hopefully a little later. But we'll have a podcast related to a Sundance recap of some way, because I'm excited that I'm really looking forward to it. Sundance. It's a documentary. I actually have a list. I'm going to find it right now. But in the meantime, while I look for that and talk about my excitement for some of these films coming out and actually letting you guys know what to look for in the next year, Malcolm, Abe, Dan. Actually, we'll start with Malcolm. Malcolm, what have you seen this past week in the new year?
Well, I mean, this week I saw both Soul and Wonder Woman 84. I just recently watched The Karate Kid for the first time the other day as well.
The question is, I still have yet to see Soul. I keep putting it off because for some reason I'm just not excited about it. But I'm still hoping to see it. What are your thoughts?
in the
Have any of you
world
guys
are
seen
you
Soul?
doing with your life?
Well,
Yes,
okay,
I
so
watched it.
apparently, okay, so have you all seen Soul? Has everyone here seen Soul? All right, so I'm going to quickly take a step back, and I want you guys to talk a little bit more about Soul, and I will bow out for the next 5 or 10 minutes and let you guys talk about Soul, because right now, I have yet to see it, and if you guys want to say spoilers, I will leave that up to you all. And in fact, I have seen the reviews. For some reason, I've just never gotten excited with the premise, but the reviews have gotten me excited, and I will watch it this week. I was catching up on some other films I have not seen yet. Go ahead, Malcolm.
But yeah, no, I'm with you. Sort of leading up to watching it, like from the trailer and from the reviews. And the premise, I actually also wasn't that excited about wanting to see it. I just thought, well, watch it. It's on Disney Plus. I need a movie that might make my top 10. Spoilers, it didn't. But I thought the movie was just fine. It's better than definitely not one of Pixar's worst, but it's definitely not number one. I think it's at the moment on my Pixar rankings, it's sitting at 10. I just thought it was fine.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked it a lot. I felt like it had a lot of things to say about what's inside of a human being, what kind of spirit a person has to achieve their goals and go out in life and do the things that they want to do instead of let the world dictate to what they're going to do and stuff. And it really is about a human being's worth. And I really got a lot out of it. And I do have it on my top 10 of the year of 2020. And I'll tell you what, the animation is amazing. I like the Jamie Foxx and Tina Fey's voiceover work too. So they're really great as well.
And we lost Abe temporarily. Hopefully he'll get back in soon. We were having technical difficulties. So I'm curious. Obviously, we can agree the animation is fantastic. Until Abe gets back, I want to try to stay on this topic just as long and hear his thoughts on Soul. Since this is obviously, I know, Dan, we talked about some other animated movies that are coming out that you saw during AFI, but how is Soul in the grand scheme of things? Because there hasn't been a lot of buzz with animated films from a larger wide release standpoint, for a multitude of reasons, not including coronavirus. What do you guys think the chances are for Soul? Like, why? Because I know, Malcolm, you have a varying degree of love in comparison to Dan for this film. Do you guys see this getting any sort of Oscar buzz or Oscar love? And actually, I'm gonna put you on hold because we got someone coming right back. Hey, made it back.
Is it good? Is it good now?
The Destroyed.
The Destroyer. That's clever.
You know what
That's
I'm gonna
clever.
do? Because you guys are cutting back to me too. I'm gonna turn off my camera. So I'm gonna be so I don't spend more internet to go because you're
Okay.
cut to me sometimes, like words. So it just doesn't waste that much internet. So I'll be here. Don't worry. Just continue.
Okay. So, as I was saying, Abe is back now. So, Abe, Malcolm said that, of course, he thinks it's fine. Not one of Pixar's best. Dan is in his top 10 of the year so far, and he really, really enjoys it. Where do you lie? And I'm assuming with the words you have told me, you like it a lot.
I really, really, really like it. Where is it? I watched. I think it's 42 releases of 2020. I don't know what Dan has seen. But I have a number 2 behind Wonder Woman 1984, which it seems I'm the only person that I in anybody's list. But I just really like it. It's honestly that I really movies I watched at the earlier of the year, like even Mang. I finished watching it. I really liked it and everything. But I think it's that and Wonder Woman. It's just the only 2 great movies I watched this year. Woman on Saturday, and I didn't thought the same about it. I guess so. We'll talk about that later. But what I really, really like a lot about, like, it just makes you think. You know, Pete Docter is that guy.
Yeah, Pete Docter. I mean, the guy's a genius. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, the movies he's done for Pixar, I mean, are just like some of the best movies ever.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, you could put these in the category of some of the best movies ever. Up, Wall-E, Inside Out. I mean,
Well, he's not Pete Docter, but like he did Monsters, which I think is extremely underrated on the Pixar
yeah, a lot
echelon. But like, it just you. It just it's similar to Inside Out. I guess it's like the spirit equal or somehow a spin-off or whatever of Inside Out, which makes you question what are we built of, what are the meaning of life, like why we think that way about the things we do, and makes you question your life, and then you think, am I really living the life I need? And the purpose of life. I heard that idea of like we all have a purpose in life. In reality, like I don't agree with that. That's the message. That's that's the message the movie has. Like we are the purpose in life. Like our purpose is to live it, to do something especially, like to fulfill the joy of life. And that's so great about the movie. And also, I didn't cry, but I thought it was funny. Like it was really, really damn fun. Like I think it's one of Pixar's uh 5 funniest movies. I have to go back and think about some. I think A Bug's Life is really funny. I think Finding is funny. Incredible, but I think it's one of the funniest. And it's not that I hate using this word for animated movies, but like when they say it's a child's movie, or I I don't know, because it's animated, because a kid likes to see drawings moving or animations and anything. That's not something I agree. But this is probably the most mature movie Pixar has done behind Incredibles. It's similar in that way on The Incredibles. It's a guy having a midlife crisis, and it does convey that message. And I really like it for that. And I don't want to see spoilers, so you can enjoy it. But please, many time tonight, just for 90 minutes, because you're gonna have a joy over it.
I will say, Abe, you have successfully swayed me in my excitement to see what this movie is now about, because the trailers definitely did not do that. This, however, you talking about it made me excited to see it, and I'm going to take my time I'm going to push forth, and I'm going to watch it this week before we have our next podcast. But anyway, Dan and Malcolm, I was mentioning to you guys beforehand, and actually Abe now, since again I have not seen it, for the three of you guys, do you see this having this sort of Oscar push for defaulting? Because Pixar, most of the time, they have a good track record of defaulting as the winner for the Oscar. That said, this is a different, unprecedented year, not for a multitude of reasons. Do you guys see this Soul taking for Best Animated Feature, or getting outside of just Animated Feature, maybe getting Screenplay, Music? What do you guys see for this doing Oscar-wise?
I mean,
go ahead, Malcolm.
yeah, I think it's definitely going to be nominated for animation. I mean, it's pretty rare for a Pixar movie not to be nominated. I can't think of other animated movies that will be up against. Like Scoob will probably be in there. Well, look, Dan, Scoob will probably end up nominated. I'm not saying it will win. I'm just saying there's a good chance it could be nominated. We've seen bad movies be nominated for animated movies before, like Boss Baby was nominated. So, but that being said,
okay. Boss Baby is a masterpiece.
Yeah. Sure.
Malcolm, I think maybe you're not thinking about all the animated movies that have come out this year, and Over the Moon is going to get a lot of love from people. And I'm telling you right now, Wolf Walkers legitimately is neck and neck with Soul for the Best Animated Oscar. Wolf Walkers is that good of a movie. Granted, the animation isn't as good as Soul, but the story and the voiceover work and the music and Cartoon Saloon is really been coming along over the last 3, 4, 5 years, last decade or so. Cartoon Saloon's really, go look up Cartoon Saloon's movies. They've really had some good stuff like The Breadwinner and some of these other ones that have been coming out. Keep an eye out for Wolfwalkers, Malcolm, because it's going to be in the category for Best Animated Feature, and it could sneak up there and steal that award from Soul. I don't think it will. And the Best Picture race, I think, because they went to 10, Manning, there's a legitimate shot Soul could get in there at that 10 spot, because there's a lot of people that have Soul on their Best of the Year lists.
You know what I almost forgot? They went to 10. I completely, with everything that was going on in this world, I totally forgot that the Oscars this year went back to the 10 rule, which is going to be really weird and really interesting to figure out. When did they make that? When did they make that? I need to double check. When did they make that announcement?
Over the summer, I think.
I'm trying to remember when this originated and whatnot, because I remember this. I know this is something I've been wanting for a while, because honestly, the sliding scale just kind of seemed.
Yeah. The Willoughbys, Malcolm, is another one. Keep an eye out for the Willoughbys. That's
I hated the Willoughbys.
I
really did.
But there's the choices that you have. I mean, Pixar could get 2 in there with Onward. Onward is one of my favorite films of the year. You know.
Oh yeah, Onward.
Forget Onward came out.
I mean, look,
I talk about Onward.
I mean, as much as I'd love to see both Pixar movies get in there, I do think the voters might only get one in there just because of the other ones.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you're right. You're right about that. They don't want to give all the love to Pixar. They want to try to.
Well, I mean, they don't want to wonder. I think it's a case of if Soul and Onward get in, then that's how Wolfwalkers may win, because they will split the vote potentially. So
good point. And a good thing for the animated race too is Raya got moved to March, which really that eliminates some competition there, getting rid of Raya and The Last Dragon.
Now, I'm curious along the lines of this, because I know you mentioned Wolfwalkers before when you came and talked about the AFI, and you mentioned you were singing praises of that film. Now, Wolfwalkers, in fact, I know won some critics awards going up into where we are today. I'm not sure which ones. I can't remember if it won LA and New York. But it got enough to where people were starting to get the talk of like, hey, maybe this has a shot at doing something more. But do you guys see Soul getting something possibly like, how is the music in Soul?
Jazz. It's jazzy, bluesy music. If you like that kind of music, you're going to enjoy it. That seems like this is the year for jazzy blues music or something. A lot of movies have that in it, or whatever, a few of them at least. But the score in Wolfwalkers is better than the score in Soul.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I know that.
It's got that Irishy feel music, Manning. Wolfwalkers does. Like if you like that kind of like fiddles and flutes and stuff.
Okay. For Soul, do you guys think its best shot is? But you don't think it's going to just waltz away with the Oscar this year, type of thing?
No, we got a legitimate race, in my opinion. Malcolm, I don't know if you saw Wolfwalkers or not.
I've not even heard of it till this very moment.
Do you have Apple
surprise?
Plus, Malcolm, do you have Apple Plus?
No.
Okay, well, Apple Plus, you can get a 7-day trial. Watch Wolfwalkers. It's on there. Trust me, it's great.
All right, I'm going to get my 7-day free trial, and I'm going to watch that over there, along with On the Rocks, and I know there's some other stuff out there that I'm going to go and give a chance.
Check out
There we go.
State.
Boy State is also on, as I mentioned I think I mentioned last podcast, the podcast before, I can't recall. It was Boy State is also on the Film at Lincoln Center. They have a virtual cinema. Go ahead and watch that, guys. I would highly recommend it. They have a lot of great features on there. Yes, Dan?
I wanted to say, Manning, I was so happy when you said you saw Nomadland on. I'm like, oh, good job, Manning.
Oh no, yeah.
I saw Minari. I saw Nomadland. I still have 2 movies that I want to get, The Collective and Martin Eden, and I haven't got them yet. And I'm like, I got to get these before they're gone. but those are two foreign language films and a documentary that I want to see that could get some love come awards seasons. But yeah, I was like, yeah, good job, Manning.
No, I saw it immediately. I was scrolling through Instagram, saw it, and I'm like getting it right then. And it was sold out, I believe, in a couple hours. So I'm glad I got right on there as soon as I could. But anyway, virtual cinema is a fantastic thing. But we also saw a lot of film. And I know that Abe, you so yourself have gotten to see a couple of films this past week,
One.
and you've got to see one film this past week. Tell me, what is that one film that you have seen this past week?
In the morning, I drive 40 minutes to Arizona to watch Promising Young Woman because theaters are not open in California. So that's something.
I wonder why.
Well, and I wonder why one's open and one's not. So, but
That's another
I
discussion
saw
for another
Promising
day.
Young Woman, and I've been excited about this film since I first saw the trailer. Like I had no idea this film was coming out until I saw the trailer in the theater. I don't remember what I was watching. It was like in February because this movie was about to come out in April. And I was pretty disappointed I didn't watch it. But I have to say, I was thinking it was gonna be something, and it was something completely different. Which does not mean it's bad, because I was really, really happy with the film. I don't think it's outstanding cinema, but I do think like it's really effective with what it's trying to say, and it depicts a lot of struggles that I'm a man. I don't want to talk about from a point of ignorance, but about what women deal with, especially with harassment and everything. And I think it conveys the story beautifully. I do think they were missing a piece because I don't remember. I haven't watched the trailers for the movie like since March, so I don't remember if this is come out in the trailers. But the motivation of Karen Mulligan's character is to set what happens, like what happened and what it makes her do the things she's doing. I wish they would have kept flashbacks of the situation so we can be more connected to the whole story. I think they were lacking there. It would have been a more complete yeah, because it's a show don't tell, the rule of cinema or whatever, however you want to call it. Like
So they did a
you
lot
have
of
to
telling,
show
thing.
yeah, they were just telling a lot of stuff, and I think that diminished the effectiveness of what they were trying to do. It's still really good. I think Carey Mulligan, like I haven't watched a lot of top performances of what people are talking about, but I think it's really damn good. Like I just, I thought of Karen Mulligan. I don't think about something that raw and hard and I don't know. I was really like just seeing her, like just seeing her eyes. She has really expressive eyes, and it's just like you can see how much pain and hatred she has toward.
Wow.
I don't remember the trailer, so I don't know what to spoil now. Toward the antagonist of the film, and you
Oh yeah.
understand it because you're like, yeah, she's right. She's totally right. The only thing I didn't like about it's like the ending. I guess I don't want to spoil, but the way things are resolved is something like it just leaves you with with a bad taste in my mouth. Like me, I don't know many people. I read a couple of reviews in Letterboxd, and people were actually happy with the ending. I was not. I don't want to say anything. I don't know. I don't know when you guys had the plans to see it, but at the end, I thought it was really good. Like there's not a ton of films we watched this year, and it's on my top four. So I did something right. I was just engaged in Scream. Like I wanted to watch it again. I couldn't because I don't want to stay there another hour or 2 hours or something like that. But probably if I get it, I don't know, go some POV before Oscar season, I'll rewatch and then try to see what I missed and anything. I thought, the whole performances are really good. Like Karen Mulligan really shines, but like the supporting cast really really helps the film. Like they feel authentic. They feel like real people, like people you actually know, in a bad and good way, I guess. But like you see, and I just felt it was human. Like I know somebody like that. I know parents like that. I know friends like that. Well, I heard. I don't have that kind of friends he's against it. But at the end, it was really good. I really recommend it. If you guys have an opportunity, like, don't miss it, watch it. Because I do think Karen Mulligan can win best actress. I'm sorry, and I think it does deserve the screenplay nomination and everything. Because she goes into, whoa, I never seen Karen Mulligan like that. So it's just something I think. So go watch it if you have an opportunity. I really recommend it. You won't be disappointed.
So, has anyone else seen Promising Young Woman?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So would you like to, oh, wait, Malcolm, have you seen it?
It hasn't come out here yet.
Ah, okay. This is the wonderful schedule of not only COVID-19 and delays, but also different countries. Everybody, it's you'll never know release schedules. But Dan, anything to piggyback off of on your thoughts of Promising Young Woman?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I absolutely love this film. It's in my top 10 of the year as well. Carey Mulligan is definitely in the mix for Best Actress, along with Frances McDormand, in my opinion, right now. Probably two front runners for Best Actress. And what Abe said, great cast: Max Greenfield, Bo Burnham, Clancy Brown, Jennifer Coolidge. What's her name? I can't think of her name. She's the coffee shop owner. God, I don't want to say the wrong word. Abe, I don't want to say the wrong word.
I'll find it. Keep going.
But yeah, she's the coffee shop owner, and she's, brilliantly cast as a coffee shop owner, is like the best friend type. Allison Brie is in there. Great cast. You say, oh, okay, that's such and such. You say, oh, okay, all these people pop up, and you're like, oh my God, what a great cast. It really is. Emerald Fennell wrote and directed this movie. I'll tell you right now, if she doesn't get in the mix for Best Director, she's definitely getting in for Best Original Screenplay. This is one of the best screenplays of the year. And I understand what Abe is saying about the ending is a little bit obligatory. It's a little bit, but when you watch the whole movie, you'll understand it more. I'll tell you, I loved it. I also saw News of the World this week, along with one. These guys all said Soul and Promising Young Woman, but I also saw Wonder Woman a week earlier, and I saw News of the World with Tom Hanks. And I'll tell you right now, Tom Hanks is fantastic. Paul Greengrass and Tom Hanks are fantastic. Again, this is their second time working together. Captain Phillips was the last time, and he got robbed of an Oscar nomination for Captain Phillips. Tom Hanks did, but I really, I'm a big fan of Westerns, so I guess I'm just a sucker for a good Western. But this had a really good message about fathers and daughters, and I'll tell you, I really enjoyed News of the World as well. So I recommend. I actually recommend Wonder Woman, Soul, News of the World, and Promising Young Woman. We got a week where there's all kinds of good movies out. Plus, I saw a documentary, which I missed a couple months ago, called Time. And it's on Amazon Prime. It's about a woman who basically is going through her life with her kids while her husband is in prison. And it's all black and white. Very good documentary. It's been getting some love on some of the best of the year lists. So keep an eye out for Time. That's on Amazon Prime. And I've been watching a lot of Scorsese movies.
Mm-hmm. So first off, is there any movies you didn't like when you've seen recently, Dan?
Movies I didn't like. Movies that I saw that I haven't liked. God, it's hard. It's hard to say. I usually don't see movies that I know I'm not going to like, or movies I think I'm not going to like. So I gravitate away from movies I think are like garbage, or I get a recommendation from somebody. Don't worry about going to see Antebellum. It's not good. I was like, okay, because I want to see Antebellum, and they're like, no, don't worry about it. And so I do gravitate towards staying away from bad movies if I can help it. I've seen a lot of movies.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. I've seen a lot of movies this year, and people, what do you mean? How did you see a lot of movies? Because there's 6 streaming services, and there's new stuff coming out every week. And every once in a while, there's some movies in the theater, So I'm always seeing new things. I really wish I could have seen Shadow in the Cloud this weekend before recording the show with you guys today, because I'm hearing rave reviews about Shadow in the Cloud and also Pieces of a Woman, which is coming up this next week.
It's coming out. By the time this comes out, hopefully this comes out. I get this done and get this out before that releases. But that should release January 7th on Netflix. So I'm excited, really excited to see Vanessa Kirby and actually a shining role outside of The Crown. Yeah, and her walk-on role in I guess Mission Impossible.
She was in Hobbs and Shaw as well.
Oh, she was. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Fast franchise, so I missed that.
No, she was good in that Mission Impossible movie what was she, the White Queen or the White
something like that? The White Queen sounds about right.
Something like that. But
something like that. Yeah. But anyway, that is kind of the gist from what I have seen. I have finally got a chance to watch. First off, Dan, any other movies you want to highlight before I move on?
No, I mean, I said a lot. I said a lot of movies already. I mean, I've seen so many. I mean, I sent you my top 10 of the year list, so you kind of have an idea.
We won't say just yet. For everyone know, we will do our top 10 in February sometime. We want to allow people to have that time in January to start catching up, because of course some things are starting to come out a little later because of the pandemic and things been pushed back. So we ourselves are going to push back some things to accommodate. So no rush, anybody whatsoever. You'll find your top 10, including Gone with the Wind awards, later this year. Sadly, thanks to the pandemic. Also, some of the highlights that I've seen, I finally finished Ma Rainey's Black Bottom when I paused it every time. And
Chadwick Boseman, amazing.
Yes, Malcolm, you were very, very right. You were very right. It was very slow. It was very, very slow, but it moved at a brisk pace at the same time. It was because they consisted in a singular room, as it was based on August Wilson's play. I felt like it didn't move. It didn't feel like it was moving. We were kind of going around in a circle a lot of the time. And I've never seen the play, so I'm not as familiar with the material, but I can highlight the performances, and specifically the performance of Chadwick Boseman, who is literally electric, and I couldn't keep my eyes off of him the entire time. Viola Davis was very good. She disappeared into the role, but I wasn't as Chadwick Boseman. There was something about him that was electric. He was absolutely electric in this role, and the supporting cast, fantastic all around. Nothing to where I'd give a SAG ensemble, but I think that what Chadwick Boseman did might give one of my favorite performances of the year. There's someone else I'm going to talk about who I think was even better, but that's just me. But Chadwick Boseman is a fantastic tour de force in this, especially when it comes to the versatility and the kind of like the very end when you don't realize what's going to happen. Have you guys seen the play before you saw the movie? So did you guys know what was going to happen at the end? No spoilers. No one saw that coming. They're shaking their heads because they can't.
No, I didn't see it coming, Manning. I had no idea what was going to happen. So that was a huge surprise to me what happened at the end of that movie.
But I guess they were telegraphing it because his character at some times is just the weight of the world and stuff that has happened to him is starting to unhinge him slightly, and ultimately it brings him to this breaking point from a series of factors. So I have to give my massive props to Chadwick Boseman for what he did in that film. I don't see the full-on love that has been getting, and maybe it's because the hype was very real. And I know that, Abe, did you finish Ma Rainey's Black Bottom?
No, I have not.
Well, I'd recommend it, if anything, just to see Chadwick Boseman's last performance, because again, he was fantastic.
I'm gonna try to watch it tonight because I start school tomorrow, so I probably won't have any more time. So this is probably my last night of having time.
Good luck. Good luck then, Abe. I wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you.
But I was going to also say the other movie that I had mentioned prior, something that I actually watched a couple nights ago with my family and girlfriend. It's called Sound of Metal. And Sound of Metal on Amazon Prime is something that I think is truly special and might be one of my favorite films of the year. Sound of Metal is a breathtaking work of not only sound design but just kind of intimate character building. And I think the character of Ruben is a fantastic character this year.
Oh,
Riz Ahmed gives my, at this point, I think it might be my favorite performance of the year. What he does is this broken character of Ruben. It is a very raw, it's very visceral, and it's a very intimate movie, and a portrayal that kind of gets under your skin the entire time from the kind of world that he's coming from, because they do a fantastic job with the audio. For those who haven't seen it, it is about a drummer who suddenly, for reasons they don't really explain, but I guess it's from his he is a heavy metal drummer, and he quickly starts to lose his hearing. It degrades rapidly, as they said, and he has to go into a group home in order to help combat his addiction that he has. But because he's losing his hearing, he can no longer do that with people who can hear. So he has to go to a deaf community at this time. And with that, he learns not only sign language, but he learns how to actually communicate in a way that's not just with verbal, and starts to learn more about himself. And Riz Ahmed, I loved him in Nightcrawler, but there was something even more special now that I've seen him progress from that to this. He is a fantastic actor, and this was such a great, nuanced performance, especially with the sound design and how the director utilized that. And I will say that the final scene might be one of my favorite scenes in this entire movie, because it's a great, or this entire year, because it comes full circle at the very end from a scene that transpired at the beginning, some dialogue they placed in regarding the word stillness, and at the very end, they kind of have it come full circle, and it is fantastic and a great payoff. Well, I wish they kind of had something more, like a nice denouement to allow him to know where his character's going to go next, but he was content in a very particular moment. We'll say, I won't spoil how or what, but it comes along fully. Have any of you guys seen The Sound of Metal? Dan, I know you have.
Yeah, well, Paul Racey is a guy.
Yes. Yes. You're right. Paul Racey. Oh, so good.
Every awards season, there are these people that come out of the woodwork that you never heard of before. Well, this year, one of those people is going to be Paul Racey. This guy's going to get a Best Supporting Actor nomination. If he doesn't, it's a crying shame, because he is fantastic in this movie. And if you don't have him opposite the Ruben character, you really don't have the right motivations for Ruben to do what he's doing in the film and stuff. And that's what makes Sound of Metal work, is that give and take between these two characters at the group home. Don't you agree, Manny?
Yes, I 100% agree. And I think that duality of him and how he is, and kind of that how not only the dynamic with him and Joe, but the dynamic with him and like the different aspects, because it's living in this group home and having all these different interactions. It's not with specifically individuals, but kind of more like the place overall and how it changes him. I think it's more concerned not with about his singular relationships, but his relationship with the actual place and how that changes him. And I think that's a really good job. And who directed that again? Do you know off the top of your head?
Oh God, I had it right here in front of me, and now I put it down.
I can't remember myself. But whoever did, while Dan looked that up, massive props to the director for creating this, because this is a very new. It's a very subtly directed film.
Darius Martyr, very subtly directed, but it had such poignancy, and I thank you for that. And I'll tell you right now, Riz Ahmed's in the mix for Best Actor, but I mean, I still say Anthony Hopkins is the front runner. When you guys have a chance to see The Father, I think you'll agree with me. I think Riz Ahmed does a great job, and he's going to be in the mix, I think, this year. But I think the guy that's the front runner is the guy that deserves to be the front runner. And you guys don't know because you haven't seen the movie, and that's The Father yet. And Anthony is playing Anthony.
But yeah, no, it will come out February 26th for all those unaware. For The Father. Finally, though, we're going to move on from what we have seen, and we're going to transition into, again, this is going to be a very chill type of conversation, nothing too crazy. But there is an interesting controversy that I want to get our take on. And that is Golden Globes. Are we shocked that there's another controversy with the Golden Globes? Because they are kind of known for their controversies, if we are being honest. This kind of happened, I believe, last year. Was it 2 years ago, I believe, with the farewell? Or was that it was last year with the farewell? Yeah, that
Yeah,
was last
whether it was a
2019.
comedy or drama.
Yes. Well, and where the Farewell made it into foreign language film, and I know there was a big discussion if that was considered a foreign language film, which by technicality, because if we all go to the Golden Globes, I actually have right now on their website. This is the official. If I can find it, where did it go? In the meantime, while I look at the actual Golden Globes eligibility rules for foreign language, I would love for you guys to give me your opinion along the lines of what does this mean? Minari. I'm gonna get it eventually, guys. I promise you that. But
Minari.
I actually see it. Minari. Okay.
Minari.
So does this deserve to be in a foreign language film when in actuality it is not? I believe it is not a foreign language film in the traditional sense that the Oscars would see it as such. Malcolm, what do you think when you see that something like this has transpired?
I mean, in my opinion, the Globes need to reevaluate this and have the foreign language films eligible for the other two categories, because that's the way it happens at the Oscars. Like Parasite was best foreign language film and best picture. So I mean, so the Globes need to just allow foreign language films into the best drama. I don't see what the big issue is. But yeah, I mean, I've not seen this movie, and it just like anything else, it's probably not going to come out in New Zealand until much, much later after the Oscars for me. So
It is going to be coming out February 12th in the United States. However, I don't know what that means for, a wide release.
No, all right. This is the thing. These are Korean people, and they come to America and they settle in Arkansas, and they want to build a life for themselves in Arkansas. So you're hearing them when they're talking to each other. They speak Korean. When Steven Yeun talks to normal people that live in Arkansas, he talks in English because he can speak English. So you hear English for a good portion of the movie, but you're also having to read subtitles because we can't understand Korean. So I understand the spot the Golden Globes are in. Just take this with a caveat here, guys. The Golden Globes love to award as many people and films as they possibly can. Remember, there's only about 98 foreign press people. And so their way is, when we put Minari over here, we can give it awards. But if we put it in a category of where it can be, we're going to take away a spot from somebody else. You can't take the Golden Globes serious. And that's part of some of these type of rules like this are just meant to share as many movies and as many actors and people like that as they possibly can. So this is their way of saying, if Minari's over here, we can give it the best foreign language Golden Globe or whatever. Is that it doesn't mean it's not going to be eligible for Best Picture and all these other awards at the Academy Awards, though. So I think I understand why they did it, because it has a lot of foreign language in it, and it has a lot of subtitles, and how they like to do things. But you just can't take it serious. The serious deal is what happens with the Academy Awards. How much love is it going to get with the Academy Awards? And I believe it should get some love, because I think it's a great movie. It's got we're dealing with another Asian grandmother again this time, guys, and I'm telling you, you're gonna love her, just like you love the woman from the Farewell.
Zhao Shushin, I believe was her name.
Zhao Shushin. You're gonna love the woman from this. She is funny, and then Steven Yeun is fantastic. He's in with Riz Ahmed and Anthony Hopkins. I'm telling you, the best actor category this year is absolutely stacked. And 3 or 4 people, we haven't even seen the movies yet because they haven't come out yet, that are coming out in February and January.
No, it is. I'm thrilled, looking forward to Minari. Malcolm, you can say something?
Yeah, I was actually about to say, when did the Oscars say that they're cutting off the eligibility for the Oscars was that end of January or end of February? Yeah, last week February. But yeah, I mean, talking about Anthony Hopkins, like if he gets nominated, he like him and Ellen Burstyn could break the record for oldest winner as well if they get nominated and win. So
it'll be their second. Both of them. It'll be their second.
Wow. Tabby, I mean, this year's already been crazy. Let's just add a little more statistics to that, to the fact of the Oscars. It would be an unprecedented year for that. Now, I mentioned I would let you guys know a little bit more about. So it turns out that you have to have, and there's a lot of other factors, and this year is, in fact, a different year. But from what their website says, you have to have at least 51% of a non-English language in there. So, which means Korean in this case. Which begs the question now is that what if there is a film that was made in America, a film that was made by Americans, let's say an American director of some sort, but the film was primarily in, let's say, Spanish, or it was primarily in French, or let's say that it was, a Canadian film that was primarily in a foreign language or something along those lines with some sort of possible American roots. But it's still a foreign film. Do you think that the Hollywood foreign press should start to realize, okay, do we go based upon foreign language or should we start going based upon a foreign production? Because I know the BAFTAs have best British film and they'll have like the best film overall. And it varies upon the production. What are your guys' comments that people should say that the Golden Globes needs to redo this? Malcolm, you're about to talk. Please go ahead.
Yeah, because I mean, I think they should go by if it was sort of a foreign production that made it overseas, because Minari was produced and made in America. I just looked that up. But I think that's why they call it best foreign language feature, so they can't get people yelling that it was made in America. It should be able to be in the other things.
I agree 100% with Malcolm. If it's a foreign production, that should be what is considered foreign language. And if it's made in America, it's not considered a foreign film. It's an American film. It just so happens it has a foreign language and it has subtitles. It happens all the time.
You know what's funny?
What's up, babe?
That the United States actually doesn't have an official language. Like, you're supposed to be.
Yes, we do not.
You're supposed to be, like, the government has to provide you with something. Like, if you go to the DMV and you only speak, I don't know, Chinese, you can be asked, like, to your forms to be in Chinese. That's something my geography teacher explained to me. I don't know if it's true or not, but I know it's true. That's not official language. But yeah, I agree. Like, right. But then you go into the thing, like, a British film, that's a foreign production. Why are you not putting there? Is it a foreign language film? That's why the Oscars went in the easy route, I think. Like, it's international film. As Dan said earlier.
It makes me want to go through the Lord of the Rings and work out how much percentage that they speak in Elvish, because technically, if there's more than 50%, that's a foreign language movie.
And they have a whole scene whenever it's just Arwen and Aragorn. It's like it's just Elvish.
Yeah,
I mean, to be fair, Star Wars, every time someone speaks alien.
Well, what I was going to be, Abe brought up a fantastic point that I was thinking of. Is like, does that mean because like the Lord of the Rings was partially a New Zealand production, or let's say some other films were a British production, something was Canadian. What does foreign mean? What does that mean? Is it something that was not in the English language? Should they change it to film not in the English language? Because I know that, okay, hold on. The Academy just switched their the naming of that. Do you guys remember what they officially changed it to?
Was it Best International Feature?
Yes. Now, if they go along the lines of like that and say for Best International Feature Film, because I feel like that would be a lot more inclusive, just saying this is the foreign film. Because what does foreign mean, I guess, now? Because, America is a lot more of a melting pot than some other countries out there. And it's a big encouragement if we want all different types of films to come here. So what does foreign language mean? Because Abe said, we do not have a We don't have English, while is the dominant language, is not the official language of America. So now the question arises: what does international film, foreign language film, what does that mean? Is that something that we still have? And I think that's a good question to arise. And I think, that allows people to see larger films by having these categories. Oh, this film's been nominated for an Oscar. It's a foreign language film. Let me see it. And I think finding that kind of language and that balance is a good idea. I think the Golden Globes, I'm not going to say how they need to start doing it, but I think they need to have a re-examination of how they let certain films in.
Yeah. And like I said, it's basically a party.
It is.
And they're giving away awards. They're just giving away awards at this party that they're at. And so they're just trying to reward as many films and as many people as they possibly can. And their way is, how can we get Brad Pitt at the party? Oh, well, we'll give him a nomination for Best Comedic Actor, and he can come. Or Angelina Jolie or whatever, And that's basically what. So you can't really take the Golden Globes that serious, but you're very, very, all of us made very valid points about this.
Now, I will also add, fun little tidbit, looking right now, that until 1986, it was known as the Golden Globe Award for Best Foreign Film, meaning that any non-American film could be honored. And in 1987, it was changed to Best Foreign Language Film so that non-American English language films are now considered Best Motion Picture Awards. Additionally, this makes American films primarily another language eligible for this award, including the winner, one of the biggest ones, Letters from Iwo Jima, which I know that was a big one, and that is basically in Japanese. This just kind of brings into perspective about what do we need to call these things to ensure that we're not making weird decisions like this, because while it is, of course, primarily in another language, it is an American production. So I guess I think this should allow a dialogue more than anything else than saying Golden Globes change it this way. No, Golden Globes think about how you need to start looking at yourself and re-examine some things. But yeah, I know that is the big good old Golden Globes. Would it ever be a year for movies unless the Golden Globes did something questionable?
Oh yeah, they're always going to do something questionable.
Always
talk about it. They're going to give us time to talk about it.
No, always 100%. So one other thing I want to talk about too is that we finally have, drumroll everybody, the movie called Judas and the Black Messiah officially, thank you, Abe, officially has a release date. Now, Judas the Black Messiah, for those of you people who are unaware, that is something that's kind of not, it wasn't exactly sure when it was going to come out. I think it was possibly being pushed back, but it officially has an awards-friendly release date of February 12th. As it stars Daniel Kaluuya, Today's not my day, guys. The film stars Daniel Kaluuya as Black Panther leader Fred Hampton. In the film, FBI informant William O'Neill, played by Lakeith Stanfield, infiltrates the Illinois Black Panther Party and is tasked with keeping tabs on its charismatic leader, Chairman Fred Hampton. The activist. For those of you who haven't seen it, it gives some spoilers of what happens to these people. But for some people who may not be abreast upon history, I'm encouraging you to go out and see this for yourself. But Judas and the Black Messiah will debut in theaters on February 12th and on HBO Max, and it most likely will be Warner Brothers' pony to get into their their Oscar love. What do you guys think of now that Judas and the Black Messiah will officially be released this year?
I mean, I'm kind of not surprised. I know all movies that got pushed from last year would eventually be released. It's just a matter of finding some spots where they're going to put it, but not be overshadowed by other things in that release date. Also, I just find it funny, Daniel Kaluuya was in Black Panther, now he's playing a little Black Panther.
This is very true, actually. That is a good observation.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to come out late January, so they pushed it to the 12th, I guess, so they could get ready for streaming.
They probably allowed that so to make it more of a closer to the actual time, so people can actually start talking about it before the nominations come out in March.
I don't know what to say. It does like seem really good. Both of those guys always bring it in the films, even though the films can be something. Have you guys watched 21 Bridges? It has like
Yeah.
King Steinfeld and Chadwick Boseman. And like Keith Steinfeld, it's great in that. Always great. Every time I see him on screen, have you watched The Photograph? He's so smooth in that movie too. He's just an incredible actor. And Danny Kaluuya, we've seen him I've seen him many times. Since I guess Get Out was his breakthrough role. So yeah, good for them. I think it can do potential. And as you say, I don't think Warner Brothers has any horse in the race, so that can be the horse of Warner Brothers TV. Because I think they felt last year with Just Mercy, so I guess this one is the one for this year.
His episode of Black Mirror was great, Daniel Kaluuya.
Oh, fantastic. That's when I first really just found out about him, and I remember loving it. But also, Variety was reporting now that the 89 members of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association received links for Lee Daniels' The United States versus Billie Holiday, which, while does not have an official release date, it was recently reported to be finalizing the move to the Hulu streaming platform from Paramount Pictures. So look out for The United States versus Billie Holiday apparently coming out of nowhere. This was recently announced. Let's see, Variety reported on this exclusive today on January 3rd, where we were recording this. Also, the one night in Miami Men, all the 4 men will be going supporting. So we will go and see how that turns out for them in the Oscars. But yeah, no, that's interesting to know that The United States versus Billie Holiday might be coming out as well too, because that gives us an idea of what that will be happening.
Well, then the best supporting actor race just got really loaded.
Yes,
With those 4 guys in supporting with the entire crew of Trial of the Chicago 7. Plus, you got Paul Racey in there. Plus, there's a chance you get Lakeith Stanfield in there. Oh my God, or Daniel Kaluuya in there. Oh my God, that best supporting actor race is just blown up now.
For those unaware, The United States versus Billie Holiday tells the story of how the singer's career was derailed after she was targeted by the Federal Department of Narcotics. Holiday was the subject of an undercover sting operation led by a federal agent with whom she had a stormy love affair. So this is going to be interesting to see how, from Lee Daniels, has he done really anything since The Butler?
Yeah, he did the Paperboy. He did The Butler. He did Precious. Did he do Precious? Right? Was he do?
Yes, he in fact did Precious.
Yeah, those are the 3 movies that I can remember that he did. Did he? He did something on TV, right?
Yeah, he hasn't done directing film. He hasn't done anything since The Butler. So that's been what 7-8 years. I don't remember when it came out.
Yeah.
So yeah, he hasn't done any like film.
Wow.
He's on TV. He directed 3 episodes of Empire and 3 episodes of Star, and a movie called Good People that came out this year.
Yeah, I thought he did some TV stuff. I thought that's what he was doing recently.
Wow. Okay. Well, good for him. So now we actually have 2 new possible films coming up. We don't know exactly when the release date, where it will come up on Hulu for Billie Holiday, or United States versus Billie Holiday. We don't know when that'll officially happen, but it is in talks now that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association has gotten it. And since that really, truly is the first kind of like, if you miss the critics groups, more than likely the Golden Globes will help pick you back up and whatnot, especially with this year. This year's been very strange when it comes to schedule. So I'm interested to see how this late push happens for both Billie Holiday as well as Black Messiah. So
also you got the Netflix movie with John David Washington and Zendaya, and then you also have Cherry coming out. I'm telling you, late February is just going to have about 4 or 5 contenders that could legitimately mess up all these other people that have already had their movie out in 2020. And obviously Pieces of a Woman coming out next week.
Vanessa Kirby, look out.
So there's go ahead, Abe.
I'm just going to say it's going to be the equivalent of December. In December we usually get all the movies to come out usually limited. Some go wide. In November, we usually get the big studio ones because they have the release date at that first week of November, uh, and that last week holiday weekend. But like, it's gonna be December when they stack like 5, 6 movies that you gotta watch, and they're going to start off slowly because they have until April. I don't know when the ballots close. I think it's gonna be last week of March, if I'm not mistaken. So it's gonna be an interesting race, but we still have 2 months for that, so we'll have to wait.
Land. I keep forgetting. Land is going to be a contender for Robin Wright as well.
Oh no, and okay, this is kind of like we have to wait for The Father to come out in February. We have to wait for the United States versus Billie Holiday. We got now we got Judas and the Black Messiah. We're gonna have a lot coming out in February for everyone to watch. And don't forget, and not this week, but January 5th, Prime will have One Night in Miami being able to stream for everybody. So look out for January 15th for that to happen. And it'll go to theaters, of course, January 8th. But, of course, if a theater's not open near you, Amazon Prime will have it on January 5th.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if any other awards things nominate the Maria Baklava from Borat's subsequent movie film as well, like what we talked about last week.
That is becoming a thing, Malcolm. You're right. That is becoming a thing. I'm really surprised.
I was so shocked because honestly, I didn't think that was going to do anything. But considering this year is just a year of unprecedented. Unprecedented. Help me out here, guys.
Unprecedented.
It's unprecedented. We're shattering precedents right now. That's what we're doing right now, guys. And I think that if that were to happen, if she were to get in for supporting actress for Borat's subsequent movie film, that would be huge. Because when's the last time a comedy film has gotten, like Melissa McCarthy or something for Bridesmaids?
Yeah. But the thing is, Best Supporting Actress really isn't that big of a category this year. She could sneak in there, and like I said about Paul Racey, they like to reward unknowns every once in a while with nominations. They don't necessarily win, but you'll get unknowns in there. Like, remember the guy from Captain Phillips? I'm the captain now.
Yeah.
Abdu, that guy, Precious, so they will reward people that we've never seen before in those supporting characters, sometimes best actor categories, but mostly supporting, just to give it some stories. These award shows love to have like these stories. Well, Paul Racey's been acting for 30 years and this is his first nomination and or the girl, whoever thought that girl was going to get into something like this, but now everybody loves her. She was fantastic. I cannot disagree with that.
Right now, I'm looking at I'm going on Variety right now, and right now these are some of the other people that are currently in contention right now. You have Olivia Colman for The Father, Amanda Seyfried for Mank, Ellen Bernstein, Pieces of a Woman, Yu Young Yoin, Yu Young Jo. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I am trying. I'm really trying. I mean, with all the respect and love in the world.
It's Yalitza Aparicio all over again.
This literally is. I still can't do it to this day. I'll just call her Yalitza. That's all I can do. But yeah, no. The grandmother, I'm guessing from Minari, and then of course we have Maria Baklava. Is it Baklovia or Baklava?
I don't know.
Okay, well, we'll find out. See, this is an education. You will learn with us. Time to learn with us, everybody. This is what we have. We're going to learn and educate ourselves more. But also, that's like the top 5 in contention. Other ones include Jodie Foster from The Marturian, what in the world? The Mauritanian.
Yeah, that's not haven't come out yet either. That's coming out in February. Keep an eye out for The Mauritanian. That is.
I hadn't even heard about this. Wow.
The trailer, oh my God. Look at the trailer for that.
Other things we have. Oh, go ahead, Malcolm.
I was about to say, looking at the supporting actress on Gold Derby, the top 5 on that. We've got Amanda Seyfried to Mank, Olivia Colman for The Father, Ellen Burstyn for Pieces of a Woman, Yu Jun Yon for Minari, and Glenn Close for Hillbilly Elegy, with Maria Bakalova as 6th.
So it's just when you don't think it's a stacked field, it is a stacked field. So
Yeah.
I put my foot in my mouth when I said it wasn't really that hard of a category.
Well, it's very top heavy. There's a lot in the current best supporting actors that are just kind of like, it's very top heavy with the few ones that we have. We don't have a lot of like lower line. I guess the lowest, below the line, I guess, that we haven't heard about, I guess that's Maria Baklova from Borat's subsequent movie film, which no one suspected. But most of these people are kind of like known names. And I think if anything were to happen, it would be a kind of shock if she just got in and there was no maybe a screenplay nomination of some kind or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But yeah, but the other one's going to be interesting is with the news that the male leads in One Not Remember are going to all be supporting. Do you think there's a chance that with Trial Chicago 7, they might sort of switch them up and make some of them lead just to get some of them nominated?
Boy, that's going to be tough, Malcolm, because they all just have so many. They all have such a level kind of playing field and they all have their moments to shine. Everybody in that film, and nobody's really the lead.
Yeah, no, I get that, but there's a good chance they might do that just to get maybe Sacha Baron Cohen and nominated, or so. I mean, this is one of those ones. Anything is possible. Judi Dench was nominated for only 10 minutes of screen time. So
yeah, I thought it was 8, but 10. You could be right with 10, but she won. She won for Best Supporting Actress for Shakespeare in Love for 8 minutes of screen time. I believe it's 8 minutes of screen time.
It was a little bit of screen time, but that's just sure.
Yeah, she won for that. So you're right. Anything can happen. But the problem is the Best Actor race is so stacked. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you're Trial of Chicago, if you take those guys out of supporting, because I don't know if they even gonna stand a chance in Best Actor.
I mean, this is one of those ones anything is possible, really. It's one of those ones when it comes to the Oscars, it can be either really easy for the categories or really hard. So
yeah, well, the thing is, literally it's the Chicago 7. So there's 7 of those. There's a judge. There's a lawyer. There's 9 people you could potentially nominate from Trial of the Chicago 7. They all are fantastic.
Good.
I love that movie, and I love all the performances from everybody.
Very, very good.
I mean, I think I had it at number 2 or 3 on my top 10 of the year. I apologize, man. I got to keep bringing it.
Well, you're okay. I'm currently looking at the list right now and seeing how things are starting to shape up. There hasn't been too much shifting right now in some of the predictions along those lines, except for the after those critics groups where Maria Baklova won, which was shocking to say the least, because I don't think no one in their wildest dreams suspected that she was going to even be remembered after a subsequent movie film came out of nowhere. But that just kind of gives the testament of how strange, and I've used this a lot, but it is a quite unprecedented year. I put a coin in the jar, a dollar in the jar every time I say unprecedented, or someone this year has said unprecedented. But yeah, no, that's kind of how things are shaping up right now. Yes.
I will say that because of the reviews and because of the love has not been there for Hillbilly Elegy, you could replace her with Glenn Close. I see Glenn Close getting knocked out of that.
After the rather lukewarm or maybe even cold reception of Hillbilly Elegy, it is more than likely that Glenn Close might miss out again on something.
Yeah, but I mean, the other thing is, because they have done this before, do they nominate Glenn Close because of her career? So she may not deserve it for Hillbilly Elegy. I've never seen that yet, so I don't know how good it is or not. But do they do that as an apology for leaving it out for the wife? So I mean,
Yeah, good point, Malcolm.
Because I mean, I'm pretty sure Meryl Streep was nominated for Florence Foster Jenkins, and that was equally as badly reviewed.
Oh,
She was.
God. But I
She
think
was.
she was purposely playing bad, and they were like, how could she play bad so bad it was actually good? One of those deals. It's like,
Yeah,
are you
I
kidding
mean,
me?
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad. It's not bad, but it's good.
I mean,
don't know how they-
I actually enjoyed that movie,
I
but
know you did.
that being said,
I know you did, Malcolm. I did. I hate, and Meryl Streep is my favorite actress of all time, and I hated her in that.
Oh my. Yikes. But what I was gonna say is that it is totally possible. Remember how, like, it is very, very much possible for a sort of veteran actress or veteran actor who is really well regarded in a very meh film. Think of the Judge, or with
Robert Duvall.
Robert Duvall, or Kathy Bates for Richard Jewell, where it's just them, just that supporting actor just getting in for there. It is totally possible Glenn Close could get in because they're like, we love you, but we're not going to give you another Oscar, but we love you, Glenn.
Good point, man.
That's what it would be. That's what it would. Honestly, it would be. But although, do they give her another one after all of the misses she's had, especially the painful one that happened last year? I mean, it wasn't painful. It was really deserving. Well, not last year, but 2 years ago. But it was deserving. But it was still painful to watch because Glenn Close.
Especially when the winner gets up there and says, "No, this is yours, Glenn."
Yes, I love Olivia Colman.
I mean,
give it to her.
I mean, how old's Glenn Close at the moment? She must be getting up there.
80.
But as far as it depends. I mean, chances are she might keep on acting. I don't know how much more acting she's got in her.
She's 73. She has time. She has time.
This day of medication and hospitals keeping people alive, she's got time.
She still looks great for her age, and she's still rocking it right now. She's giving great performances from The Wife, and which again, I know people didn't care for The Wife. I loved The Wife. I loved her in it. I loved again, just go watch The Wife. I loved
Jonathan Price.
Oh, thank you. Like the Pope. The Pope. I loved the Pope in it. I love Pope Francis in it, guys. I know Jonathan Price. I loved him in it. I recommend going out and seeing her performance in that because it is a very, very good film. But I'm not going to take anything away from the favorite win, Olivia Colman, who is also equally fantastic in a different way. But yeah, no, that will do it for us. It's very chill, very laid back, kind of very stream of consciousness discussion we've had today. Is there anything else you guys want to plug before I say goodbye to us? So Malcolm, where can the people find you, and what's on your heart and mind for this new year? What are you most looking forward to out of all the films coming out this year?
I'm looking forward to just finally seeing Black Widow in No Time to Die. I feel like we should have seen it last year, but was there last year? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, you can find me on Take 3. Our host Rankum. Next week's topic is going to be horror movies of the 70s, and also late night. This week's topic will be something, maybe, I don't know, but yeah. And you can find me on Formula. I host Formula Classic and Formula Randoms.
And Abe, where can the good people find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Abraham25. You can follow me on Letterboxd at Abraham Flores 25. And you can follow me when you see me on the street, and I will not call the police. Just don't let me off with the Twitter. No, I don't care about your life. You should mind it.
Don't worry, Abe. I care though. I care. And then Dan, where can they find you?
You can find me at disappointmentmedia. That's .com, where I write about all kinds of movies and movie-related topics. We just put out our best actor, actress, supporting actor, and supporting actress of the year articles. All the writers nominated an actor from each one of those categories, and so you can read my articles about I did Anthony Hopkins, Frances McDormand, Leslie Odom Jr. and Saoirse Ronan, and also all my reviews on my own blog from the fourth row at wordpress.com, where I did put out my top 10 of the year. Obviously, we're not going to talk about that right now because these guys haven't had a chance to see all the movies yet, and people out there I know they haven't either. And I do a couple YouTube shows as well called From the Fourth Row. Top 5 Weekly and Bleacher Features. So Bleacher Features will be coming back this summer. So it's where myself and a guest we talk about a sports movie each episode. So so I'm doing a lot out there as well.
And you can find me on Twitter at Cine_man. That's CINE_MANN. And of course, you can also find me here hosting Gone with the Wind. We're going to try to get back into weekly podcasting now that we are actually starting to have movie stuff come out. This year has been really weird, but hopefully we'll be able to get back into it. And I'm really excited to see what that happens. And for me, what I'm mostly excited for happening movie-wise, I'm looking forward to Dune, because by this time I probably would have already seen it. And anything that Denis Villeneuve does is something that I'm going to go see. So I'm excited about that. Dan, you have something. Your mouth's agape. What's up?
Did you guys talk about the controversy with Denis Villeneuve and Legendary, where Legendary basically held Warner Brothers hostage on the whole deal? Now it looks like Dune's going to get a theatrical only.
Oh,
now okay. Max. I actually show and I brought this up, but I forgot about that. That was big news.
That there has been an entire thing that I wanted to talk about, and I completely forgot because I've been searching for a really low week, and this is something that missed my mind. But that was the backlash after Warner Brothers decided that they were going to release things on HBO Go, or sorry, not HBO Go. That's dead. Excuse me, HBO Max, and then on the same day in theaters. There was a big controversy from filmmakers ranging all the way from Christopher Nolan to I believe even Timothy Chalamet was wearing a shirt in solidarity or something along those lines. People saw that and they're that's a Legendary shirt. There has been backlash from people in the industry for this, and I'm curious to see what transpires for that. So quickly, Malcolm, thoughts? What's your thought quickly along the lines of this backlash that has been happening from people in the industry?
I kind of expected this backlash when this deal was announced, partly because, this is literally them sort of potentially taking money away from the creators, and as we saw with Wonder Woman, a lot of people did support it at cinemas because it took in about 16 million in that first week box office, and it's over about 100 million at the moment worldwide. But with that being said, it's still going to come down to if people are really interested in seeing the movie in the cinemas or if they just want to go straight to HBO Max, because I can't think of a specific example now, but Matrix 4, for example, if people think, we've had enough of the Matrix, I'm not going to go to the theaters to go see this, I'm going to just go to HBO Max. It's not going to make as much money as it would if it was just theater.
And Dan, your thoughts?
Well, the thing is, Dune, Denis Villeneuve, if you know anything about Denis Villeneuve, if you've seen any of his films, they are theatrical experiences. Usually it's Roger Deakins doing the cinematography on some of these, but they're gorgeous films to look at. Dune is not going to be any exception. It's going to be a movie that you need to see in the largest possible screen. And to see that on HBO Max, even if you have, let's say, a 4K TV and it's a 70-inch TV or whatever, is you're going to see it, but it still is a theatrical experience. That movie is needed to be seen in a theater, and I agree with Legendary in putting their foot down and say, no, we're going to sue you unless we get a theatrical release, and they ended up winning that tug of war with Warner Brothers. So, and filmmakers, they want their movies in theaters. They make movies to be put out in theaters, not to be on TV, even though this year was one of those years where a lot of movies ended up on TV because of the situation we were all in. Next year, hopefully we'll start getting back to normal and we'll get to go back to the theaters and see these spectacles in theaters again.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is, Warner Brothers didn't tell anyone about this when they did. They just went ahead and did it. I mean, if they'd talk to them and go, look, this is what we're going to do. Are you okay with this?
Yeah.
And or at least they could have come up with some kind of deal, because even theatre owners were blindsided because they assumed that Wonder Woman 84 was going to be a once-off deal only. And then Warner Brothers came out and do this before even Wonder Woman 84 came out. So, as like them doing it without asking is the other thing, which I was kind of expecting this backlash to happen.
Yeah, good point, Malcolm.
And I'm going to look to see how this continues, especially once we start to once we put COVID behind us. I'm excited to see how this is going to happen, because I am more than confident I will be seeing. I mean, knock on wood, in case something happens in this world, but I am looking forward to seeing Dune next December, or this coming December, because we're in the new year. This coming December in theaters, and I think they were good for putting their foot down. And I agree with you, Dan.
Yeah, I'm going to see them all in theaters because we don't have HBO Max in New Zealand.
Ow, that's not fair. That's not fair, Malcolm. Don't rub it in. That's not fair. No, you have no COVID. Oh, you're rubbing. He's rubbing his screen right now. Wow. Wow. I feel insulted. Okay, well, Dan has to skedaddle right now, and I know we have to all skedaddle, so I thank you guys for watching this episode of Gone with the Wind. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Malcolm. Thank you guys for listening. Bye-bye.